So I finished Ghostwire Tokyo. Fucking
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
shit.
finally.
And
I
Okay.
think I put
thoughts?
just shy of okay, here's I was saying when I was reviewing it a little bit last episode that I didn't really care for it. I could see it getting better and I could see it getting worse. Here's what I'll say. About 45, 50 hours is what it took me to platinum that game.
Holy shit.
And yeah, a lot of hunting stuff down. It took a while. But I will say this. I think I last spoke about it about maybe 5 to 10 hours into the game, and it never really got redundant. The combat, which is, I guess, the focal point of the whole thing, is it's different enough for every fight, or at least it can be if you let it be, using different skills, using your bow and arrow. You can make combat more fresh and exciting if you I guess if you let yourself just get creative with the abilities you have. So I never really got bored of fighting. I think I was focusing on getting this like gliding ability last time we spoke about it, and I was able to kind of mix that into my combat, just like jump up out of the way, jump down, do some power smashes, and then
Cool.
come back in, like throw my fireballs and shit. I had a lot of fun with the combat in this game. I will also say the story was trash. The story didn't really like it starts off kind of weak, but there's some story there. And then the story kind of between side quests, whatever, there's a little bit here and there to kind of give you some lore to follow, but
Mhm.
the rest of the story didn't really come until the very end of the game. And had they built upon that, it might have been a little bit better, but in general, it wasn't a very rich story. And I can see why the game didn't review as well as it did when it originally released, because it was just a fun combat game, but nothing exceptional. And
It's
I
like Evil
think,
West, basically. Like from last
yeah,
week. Yeah.
yeah, I guess that's kind of, and that's I got the same thing out of it. I needed that. I needed that fun, fast-paced combat
Hmm.
to get me out of the narrative-driven game kind of lull that I'd put myself into. So just like you got that out of
Well, Evil
Evil
West.
West, Evil
Yeah.
West. Wanted to call it Forbidden West.
Yeah.
Uh,
But Evil West last
yeah,
month's
like
free PlayStation Game of the Month.
ooh. But yeah, it wasn't a terrible game. It wasn't a great game. I'll give it a quick and easy 6 dinosaur chicken nuggies
Ooh.
with a plum sauce right down the
Ooh,
middle.
okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, a little bit fun, nothing exceptional.
Eric,
Your average chicken nugget.
what is the like the gameplay loop of this game? Like we have it watching for those who are tuning in on YouTube and or Spotify. Again, you can watch the review or you can watch gameplay footage as we are talking about each and every single game. But again, it looks like obviously first person shooter. Is it just like open world? You're going and completing missions, and they have side missions. Like, is it that style of game? Is it, I don't know, more linear,
Yeah.
more open? Like, what exactly are you trying to accomplish and be doing here?
So you saw just moments ago, he was praying at a shrine, and these shrines are littered throughout the map. They When you pray at them, you unlock a bunch more of the map well, the whole map is there for you, but it's all covered in a fog. Praying at these shrines, or I guess de cursing these shrines, opens up some of the fogged area and opens
Gotcha.
up a little bit more map for you. So
Yep.
you can run around for the most part. There are some sections that are story blocked, but every time you get past a certain story chapter, a whole bunch of these shrines pop up. So you can go and hit all those shrines, open
Yeah.
up a whole bunch more map, and there's more area to explore. But essentially, what you're doing is going from story mission to story mission, uh, opening shrines, finding collectibles, and getting new skills, new abilities, and trying to hunt down this guy who kidnapped your sister,
Cool.
basically.
Classic Far Cry with spooky ghosts.
Yeah. And so it's about I think it would be about, like, if you're not going for any completion whatsoever, if you're just going straight story, I'm sure you could beat this game in maybe 10 hours. Like
Nice. Okay.
it's not a very long campaign. Because of all the extra shit I was doing going through the game, trying to pick up collectibles as I went, I was leveling up pretty fast, so it made the game pretty easy for me. If you're not getting those additional experience points and leveling up as quickly, that 10 hours might be maybe 15 hours because you have to do a little bit of grinding to level up to get yourself ready for certain bosses.
Yeah.
But collecting everything as I went and getting experience as I went, I did not have any issue with any boss. I don't think I died a single time in that game.
Cool.
Yeah. But it's done. It's platinumed. Fuck it. Not worth the platinum. Not a difficult platinum. Not worth it if you ask me. The game
Yeah.
wasn't enjoyable enough to want to put 50 hours into.
So Eric, if you're saying the game takes 10 to 15 hours for one playthrough, how many
Yeah,
times do
just
you have to
about.
play through this thing to get that platinum? If you're talking like 50 hours.
Yeah, no, it only took the one playthrough. Everything can be done. You kind of have to. I think I had to save scum a little bit at the end, just to redo one little piece. But I don't know if that's necessary. I'm pretty sure you can get the whole game just at like the platinum just in one playthrough, as long as you do everything right. You don't miss one particular side quest that you get blocked out of. Uh,
Okay.
but So for a 10-15 hour game, for take me about what 45, 50 hours to get the platinum, I would not say it's worth it for that. Like the game is not great, and the platinum is just a bunch of collectibles. Like you're collecting these little tanuki that are camouflaged throughout the map.
Indeed.
You're
Oh,
collecting these little spirits. If you see like if you're watching the video with us, you might see a little blue translucent figure floating on the screen. These are spirits that you have to collect, and there are 247,000 of them.
God
Now,
damn, that's a lot of
now
motherfucking blue things.
every time you absorb one, you're getting like 100 to 200 spirits at a time, but it still adds up. And they're
Yeah.
they're hiding all over the map. Like it's a big expansive map where you can get on top of huge buildings, you can go down these like deep and twisted alleyways. Like you
Oh,
can go so many different places, and you're just scouring the map for these little spirits.
yeah. So without
You
like a
do.
guide, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? As far as finding the spirits, it was one of the few things I didn't use a guide for, because you do have
Oh,
this ability to sort of scan your surroundings and like see what there is, whether it's enemies or items to pick up, whatever.
Okay. Cool.
You can use that, and you can see things. You can upgrade that skill so you can see things for a certain distance. So it does make it not as annoying as it might seem. It just takes a lot of time because you're going throughout the entire map to find these things.
Yeah.
Again, I wouldn't do it.
Honestly,
fair
Um,
like
enough.
the game actually looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
it is
Like,
like I had fun playing it. Like I said, like the combat never got redundant. The way you move around the map is fun. Like I 50 hours, and I didn't really get tired of it until maybe the last 10 when I knew I
yeah.
was getting close. I'm like, okay, let's just fucking wrap this up. And it was again finding like the extra things. I went hard on finding those spirits as soon as I defogged an area of the map. So I didn't have much backtracking to do, but it was
Nice.
finding all the tanuki, praying to all of the
Need
or
to
these
nuke.
shrines you pray to. Like those things for me, I had to use a guide to find. Actually, I found all the shrines on my own, but the Tanuki, they were kind of like sneaky and hidden.
Need.
But
I got a
Sneaky
dope.
to nukes.
I got a dope Tanuki sticker that's on my laptop from Japan. It's hype. Tanukis are
is it a
awesome.
Super Mario Tanuki?
So I actually have a Super Mario Tanuki and a normal Tanuki sticker on my
Nice.
laptop currently.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Tanukis, they have their little nuts out on like the statues in Japan and stuff. They're so cool.
But to
Oh,
wrap up Ghostwire Tokyo, I would give it like a solid, like kind of right down the middle, just above average, like a 6 out of 10 dinosaur chicken nuggies. Oh, I need Tanukis. 6 out of 10 dinosaur chicken nuggies with a simple plum sauce, nothing special, nothing out of the ordinary. Good
mm.
game, fun game, nothing exceptional. And really for a 10 to 15 hour game, if you're getting it for under $20 and you like that kind of game, go for it. If you're getting it for the platinum, I don't know if it's worth the grind. But
That makes
sometimes
sense.
you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, and you said the combat was super fun, right? Like
It
very
was
fast
fun. It
paced and
was
good.
fun. It was entertaining. It didn't, at least for me, it never got redundant because I wouldn't let it. I kept trying different things, using different abilities, mixing it up to keep it fresh. And it did stay fresh for the entire 50 hours I played through.
Nice.
And that's huge. That's an accomplishment on itself.
I think so.
Yeah.
Again, not a bad game by any stretch, just a bland and unnecessary one.
So if you want to like unplug and just play something fun, which is kind of the appeal of like a mass online player like COD or something like that,
Right.
where you just like log in, you kill a bunch of motherfuckers, and you get out. This kind of sounds like it has enough story to keep you going to place, but like
Yeah.
it's battle to battle that really makes it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
this game,
there's a
yeah.
place for that, because that was Evil West for me, like we talked about last week, right?
Right.
Evil West
Right.
was like I never was bored of the combat, and like I was every fight was so much fun. So
That's it.
yeah, so it sounds like it was very similar, and I'll
Yeah.
take it.
I think we both needed that. But yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah,
recommend this game to either of you. There are better things to waste your time with.
I have so much backlog too. Oh my god.
Yeah. So on to the
And
next. Oh yeah.
I was gonna say
Oh.
and logs in your back, but
Nice.
please continue. Please continue, Eric. What else you got for us, buddy?
Those Kanuki nuts got Mike all excited.
So the one log that I pulled out of Brandon's back was was Need for Speed Unbound.